So I just got myself into some shit. I bought a Chromebook, which is outdated, but I only paid $30 for it. And it's a pretty decent machine. It's got 4 gigabytes of RAM, 16 gigabyte solid state hard drive, HDMI plug, all of that, but it's outdated. Meaning Google won't push any more updates to it, they won't support it. So you can't really do anything with it other than browse the web. You can't download any Chrome OS or Google Chrome extensions and use any of the browser extensions. You can't do anything really other than just browse the internet. So I didn't really get into like asking the person if she knew like what firmware it was or anything like that. I had a feeling she didn't know anything I would be talking about, so I was like, you know what, I'm gonna give it a shot. I don't mind helping people and having little projects like this. So man, I hate this. I hate this damn heater. It drives me nuts. It only does that with the heat. It makes that noise. If you turn on the fan or air conditioning, it doesn't do it. I think the bearing inside of it needs to be oiled up, and when the bearing heats up with the fan, it just starts making that noise. So hopefully that don't drive you nuts like it drives me nuts. But I started doing some research, you know. So I found out with these Google Chromebooks, you have CH Ultrabook. It's a big Linux community that really likes Chromebooks because you can get them so cheap, all the outdated ones, and you know, as long as it's a x86 or x64, 64-bit laptop, you can do a lot with it. But in order for you to put Linux on it, you have to flash the firmware. So I've been going through all the supported devices, whatnot. I'm glad it wasn't an ARM processor, because ARM processors, I can't even talk. ARM processors aren't supported, but mine is. I have an HP Chromebook 14 with the board name Falco, but it has write protection mode on it, and it's a screw. So I gotta flip this open, take the bottom panel off, find the screw, then take the screw out that keeps the hardware, the firmware from being written to. Once I remove that screw, I can download the firmware, the script right here. It says a Chrome OS firmware utility script simplifies the most common functions most users need when interacting with the firmware on their Chrome OS device. It can be run from Chrome OS or any Linux distribution which has a full shell. It cannot be run via WSL or a virtualized environment, for example Chrome OS or Penguin Shell. So once I get that firmware writing screw out, protection screw, I can download the script, run it, and I'll be able to flash the firmware, which will give me a UEFI BIOS for the most part, and then I can download any Linux distribution on a flash drive and then install Linux like Ubuntu or Debian, Linux Mint, there's a bunch of them out there. Preferably with a lighter operating system, something that's really small, very light, so the computer runs quickly. And then I'll be able to start developing, writing in Python, using the terminal command line, start learning, pushing myself. I already know a lot, but I don't know enough. With computers and programming, you never stop learning. there's always new things coming out, and there's always new possibilities. You can invent, you can write your own computer language. But I'm happy because, for the most part, there's people already out here that did all the work and put it all together for someone that really just wants to buy one of these for really cheap and be able to use it and get life out of it as a regular laptop computer. It's nice. And because I'm a Linux user, I love Linux. Even though Chromebook uses a Linux kernel, it's still not a full-blown Linux system, so you're limited. You know, it's been a process already learning how to get this damn thing in developer mode and all of that. I probably shouldn't have bought it, but I felt bad. I wanted to help the girl out. It's trash. Her kids put stickers on it and all this shit. It's dirty. I gotta clean it up. But I gotta get a screwdriver. I don't even have a screwdriver to take the back panel off. Well, the bottom panel, I should say. And take that screw out before I can really get anywhere. But I'm gonna sit up tonight and just read. Go through all the procedures. Make sure I have everything downloaded correctly, that everything's compatible so I don't run into any problems, because doing something like this, I could permanently brick this laptop and it would never be able to work again. So then I just spent $30 for nothing, which it was kind of a gamble in the first place. But for the most part, I know what it is I'm doing. And as long as you have an idea how to go about these things, and you've had past experience like rooting Androids and whatnot, you should be okay for the most part. But definitely do your research. You have to do your research. When you get on the internet and you start modifying devices and using them for other purposes, a lot of the forums or web pages posts that you see are usually outdated, so that procedure or whatever it is that you're researching, looking at, may or may not work for you. So definitely, check all the dots, figure out what it is you're trying to do while you're doing it, and make sure you get all the latest, greatest information that you can get. Today's been a crazy day. Don't have a second job yet. Wasted 2 weeks waiting for this job, which I shouldn't have done. I barely have any money for groceries or anything. I just blew money on this laptop, really hoping I was going to start that job. So that door closed. But when doors close, other ones open. About a week ago, I stopped by my grandmother's. I made a video about making amends with people, especially family and friends. Say your piece, especially with parents. You never know when they're gonna go. When they die. And if you never make peace with your parents before they die, you're gonna live with that regret forever. You must forgive others. It's easy to forgive others, though. The hardest thing to forgive is yourself, from my point of view. But because I went over to my grandmother's and made peace with her, though we had a falling out, things were said that needed to be said that she didn't really agree with, I'm still happy I did it. I'm real happy I did it. And the reason why I did it is you have to take into consideration when parents or grandparents, more so parents, when they're raising you, especially if you're their first kid, they've never been through that before. They don't know how to be a parent. They're learning how to be a parent. You know, hopefully if they have a second or third kid, they've learned from the first one, you know, and they want to be a better parent, so they go out of their way and stay committed to being a better parent. But that's not always the case. People go through life with a lot of responsibilities, struggles that put so much weight on them. They can't bear it. They don't know how to bear it. And they break. And when they break and they have a child or children in their life, it tends to cause childhood trauma. And if you've ever been through that and your parents are still alive, forgive them. You should. So by me going over my grandmother's house the other day, just saying hello, talking to her, telling her I'm sorry, you know, she asked where I'd been, and I knew me being away for 2 years, 2.5 years, not knowing where I'm at, no phone call, no nothing. She was worrying about me. She's one of those type of people. She cares. She worries about people, her loved ones. So I didn't want to let that be on her conscience longer than necessary. So by me being in the same area, me being back home from the federal prison system, though she didn't know I was in there, she asked me where I was and how things been. I told her and what happened. She didn't seem surprised, but she was in the same time, because I was doing so well. I was making a lot of money legally, but I was also working 80 hours a week. She's seen that. She's seen me have my own home. She's seen me have multiple cars. She's seen me with nice clothes, you know, beautiful furniture. She's come by my house a lot. She would buy stuff from my house just you know, make it more comfortable, more home, you know. She would make crepes, nilszniki, which is Polish for crepes. She would make those and bring them over and drop them off, so I could just throw them in the freezer and then just thaw them in the morning, throw them on the grill, you know, and in a pan and heat them up. I love Polish food. I love her cooking. She knows it. But today, I just got a random phone call. I noticed the area code was 313. I'm like, who the fuck's calling me from 313? So I answered it. It was my uncle. Asked me how things are going, whatnot. Told me to make an appointment for a Secretary of State. And I'm like, for what? He's like, you got your license, right? I'm like, yeah. And he's like, well, Grandma's giving you her car that we fixed and gave to her for her birthday. I'm like, no fucking way, dude. I don't have a car. I lost everything for something I didn't even do. Years ago, me and my uncle went to an auction, and they had a brand new PT Cruiser, a purple PT Cruiser that only had 32 miles on it, but it was smashed in the front end. At that time, my uncles owned a collision shop over here in Detroit. And they built cars, restored them, fixed them on the side. They did it as kind of like a hobby. They never really did it for money, so to speak. Like, I shouldn't say that. They did it for money, but they weren't like taking in cars, you know, like fixing them from customers. They would just buy cars and then fix them up and then sell them here and there. It's just what they did. We ended up buying this PT Cruiser for a couple $1,000s, bringing it to the shop. It sat for about a year. We found another PT Cruiser that was in the junkyard, and we got the whole front clip. Same color, everything. Brought it to the shop, and then we took everything off the front clip, including the front subframe. We literally drilled out all the spot welds, took it off, and then we put everything on the car that we got from auction. My grandma didn't know anything about it. We gave it to her on her birthday with the car only had 32 miles on it. It was a brand new car after we were done with it. Though it was an accident, after we were done with it, it was brand new. Where it was smacked, it pushed in the front right part of the frame, but it was just little structural damage. It wasn't like fully bent. She had a really nice car, and she's had it for years. She's been driving it for a long time, and it's still in really good condition. It needs a little tune-up. It needs some hubs on the front, but she's giving it to me. And I don't know what to say. I'm gonna take it. I need it. I'm thankful. Very thankful. That car is gonna help me out a lot. One, it's gonna get me to work quickly in heat. Though it's purple, which is my favorite color, but and it's an automatic, which I hate. I'm probably gonna end up keeping this car, never getting rid of it. Doing some cool things to it, maybe manual swap it eventually. But that's later on down the road. Right now, it's just an A to B car. I'm happy. Things are going well. And then finally, I got this place to bring me a refrigerator, which I had to carry it from another room. The Indian lady downstairs, she's kind of younger. She's kind of cute, actually. I've been waiting 2 weeks for this damn refrigerator. They never brought it to me. I went down there today. She's like, well, it's up in the storage room. I cleaned it for you, but it's too heavy. I'm like, it's a small refrigerator? She said, yeah. I'm like, I'll carry it. So I carried that into this room. And then she's like, didn't you ask for a table? They said you wanted a table. I said, yeah. We went into some room, a couple rooms down, got the table, and that room was hit. Somebody broke the bed, the headboard, the walls were all fucked up. Like who the fuck does that in a motel room? Like, they trashed the motel room. It was bad. But I finally got a table, 2 chairs. It's starting to slowly come together. It's somewhere to lay my head. I'm thankful for it. It's expensive. I could be renting a house. The last house I was at, I was renting, cost me $1,300 a month, and I had 2 bedrooms, living room, dining room, kitchen, laundry room. I had a car garage in the back, a backyard. Deer slept in the backyard all the time. I could open up my back window and the deer would eat peanuts and apples and stuff. It was nice. I'm paying $100 more here than there. But then again, it's actually cheaper here in a sense, because the other place, it was $1,300 a month. On top of that, I had a Wi-Fi bill, I had a water bill, electricity bill, gas and water. cost me more than $1,300. But I also had a garage, so I was able to work and fix cars and hustle, those type of things. I had an extra room. I had a little hobby room where I could fix electronics, like what I'm doing with I could buy phones, computers, sound equipment that's broken. I could fix it and then sell it. And if you ever want to make money on Facebook Marketplace, you have to learn, or make money period, buying and selling things, you have to learn to understand the value of something, what that value is, and then you must be able to buy that thing lower than the value of what someone would pay. And that's the only way you'll survive or make money, which I'm pretty good at it, and I will be making videos doing these things. I'm just now getting on my feet, slowly figuring everything out. And I'm being blessed as well, which I'm thankful for it. Always be kind to people. Always bless people and help. Yesterday, a girl that I talked to on Facebook, just as friends, she lives in Chicago, and her roommate was stealing from her and all this other stuff. She moved out, didn't have nowhere to go, was sleeping in a car. She's never owned a first home before or bought one. She had 2 dogs. She has a crotch rocket, a lot of belongings, and she bit the bullet. And it's like, okay, I have to. I don't have a choice. Apartments weren't working out for her because of the dogs and her bike. She likes to ride and whatnot. She ended up jumping into buying a house, and she's struggling. And she set up a GoFundMe account and sent me a message yesterday like, hey, is there any way you can share this? And when I opened it up, I realized that nobody's sent her any money yet, that she's trying to get ahead on bills, It shows her whole story and everything. And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to send her $50. That way when I share it and people see it, they see that somebody already spent money. They're more likely to send money and help her out if they see somebody already sending money. So I sent it. I didn't tell her I was sending it or anything. I just did it. She literally messaged me back, said I made her cry. And then she yelled at me for sending the $50, saying that I need that money. And I told her I always need money. Who doesn't always need money? But I don't have a problem making money. I will make it up somewhere else. I told her I would have sent her more, but if I did send her more, then I wouldn't have a place to lay my head. And here I am, stressing out about $50 that I sent to help someone else out. It's not really stressing me out, but it cut into my food money and other things that I wanted to do. I'm being blessed with a car. So God always provides. You must remember, God is real. You didn't pick this earth, nor did you pick your family. That's how you know God is real. Second, I know heaven is real because everyone wants to live forever, and if they say they don't want to live forever, they're sick in the head. It's all instilled in us. That's the truth. God's mercy is it's unfathomable. It rains and it shines on the good and the bad. Even the people that are running around here every day doing bad things, it still rains and it still shines every day. Because He has a purpose for this. When you wake up intellectually and open your heart and you bring the two together and become one with yourself and with the universe and with this earth, with love, you understand what that purpose is. And nothing brings you more happiness than to share that purpose with other people and share your testimony and your story and what it is that you understand and know, because you've received that love, that mercy, that grace. And when you finally get to that point in life, you're finally at peace and you know that everything is going to be okay. And that's the truth. If this video helps you, please subscribe, like, comment. I'd appreciate it. And so many others will too.